Hello Facebook family, are you ready to go to a wedding? We're so sorry that we've kept you a bit late, but we're here, we're going to get started. The camera's going to move a wee bit at the beginning so that I can get you placed properly, so just bear with us. Right, good afternoon everybody. Hi. Is that it? Is that all I get? I've been standing here for half an hour. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Would you like to go to a wedding? Yeah. Well, just before we do, my name's Reverend Lindy, Irving, and I'm the minister that's going to lead us through today's ceremony. And just before we start, I've just got a couple of housekeeping things, and then I'm going to ask everybody a big favour. So first of all, if you've got a mobile phone, can you please make sure that it's switched off or it's on silent, because if it goes off, you have to get up here and sing or dance or something. You have to do some sort of forfeit, and that's never pretty. If there's any wee ones in the room and they get unsettled, feel free to do whatever you need to do. Take them out, keep them in, it's absolutely fine. Adam and Nikki are just happy that you are here with them. Most of all, and the most important thing to do is that Adam and Nikki really want today's ceremony to be a really fun and joyful one. And I need your help to do that, because you're their family and friends, you're their community. And so they don't want you just to be sitting here today waiting for it to be over so that you can get for a drink. I know that's important, and you've been waiting long enough. But what I would ask is that as we go through this ceremony, please be involved. You know, allow it to be as joyful as it possibly can be. Can I ask you to do that? Yeah. But a wee caveat to that, because this is a marriage ceremony. It is a sacred ceremony. And there's been a lot of work going on behind the scenes to make sure that today's ceremony is held by something much bigger, much deeper and much more powerful than we can see present in this room today. So we do also have to be mindful of that. But Nikki is standing just outside those doors. And she's looking very beautiful, but as I say, she's a wee tad nervous. Not as nervous as you. I actually brought you a fan. Sorry, I forgot. But can I possibly ask that we let Nikki know how happy that you are to be here, to be present and to witness them come together in marriage? Can I ask for a big cheer to do that? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, can I ask us to be upstanding and turn to welcome our bridal party? Ladies and gentlemen, please take a seat. Okay, once again, ladies and gentlemen, hello, faithful, and welcome here to Airth Castle, where we come together, eventually, for the marriage ceremony of Nikki and Adam. I would like to point out that we're in this beautiful castle. It's a really lovely setting, eh? When you drive up that driveway, how nice is that? Is that it? Just. But I do have to point out that originally they wanted to get married in the Dominican Republic. So we could all be on the beach with a margarita, but here we are, and you're stuck with me. You're stuck with me, but there you go. But I do want to, on behalf of Adam and Nikki, let everybody know just how happy they are, and it means the world to them to have the people who are in this room that have travelled here today despite everything that's going on. We also want to say hello to everybody who's watching on Facebook. Facebook. You are all most sorry for keeping you waiting. Not really sorry, but there you go. But I know we've got people from Scotland, and we've got people from Oxford, and online we've got people watching from all over. So you are most welcome. And even though not everybody can be here today, we're hoping that once everything lands and settles, that you will all be able to celebrate in some way. Right, as I said, Adam and Nikki want today to be a kind of laid-back, joyful day. Have you ever seen Michael McIntyre's big show? Yeah. Where he wanders about talking to unsuspecting people and embarrassing them a wee bit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Michael McIntyre. But where are Reese and Charles?
Come on, give us away.
Because we're quite surprised that you two even managed to make it today. Because I heard that one time you missed a flight to Scotland. Because you were still in the pub when they were calling your names. We've all been in the airport when that's happened. That's those guys.
For 1 pint as well.
And where is Nikki's brother Ross?
Sorry, Ross.
Sorry, Ross. But I heard a wee story about you, because Ross turned 18 on Monday. Yay! And that, of course, means that you can start experimenting with alcohol. But I heard that Ross can't quite make up his mind if he's an adult or not, because his tipple of choice is a straight vodka with a milk chaser. What is that about? In case anybody fancies that tonight, the bar star have been primed, just ask for a roast. And talking about birthdays, where is Aidan? Oh. Because I heard from two wee birds that this is actually your 14th birthday today. And you're stuck at a wedding. Well, listen, we can't give you a straight vodka and milk, but what we can do is celebrate your birthday by singing to you. So, ladies and gentlemen, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Aidan. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Sorry about that singing for me there. I'm one of those unfortunate people that love singing and should never be allowed to. But now that everybody in the room is feeling the love, let's turn our attention back to the two most important people here today. In the poem To a Mouse by our national bard Robert Burns, there's a verse that says, "The best laid schemes o' mice and men gang after glee, and leas nowt but grief and pain for promised joy." Which just means that even the best of plans can sometimes go wrong. And my goodness, what a journey it's taken to get here today. We feel as if we've been planning this ceremony for a bit. 1 minute you're planning a wedding and getting all excited about invitations and seat plans, and the next you're hoarding toilet paper and are terrified to touch your own face. But while the wee mad virus has been able to restrict many things, including the numbers here today, it cannot stop love. And so today we finally get to celebrate with words, rings and promises, and later with food, drink, and I was going to say dancing, but there's still no dancing allowed, so we just say more drink. It is a Scottish wedding after all. But although, as I said, Nikki and Adam want this to be a relaxed, fun and boozy day, we do also need to be mindful that this is a legal and sacred marriage ceremony. And the vows that Nikki and Adam will make here today are ones that they have been thinking about and creating for some time, and that are intended to last a lifetime. And they do so in the presence of you, all their family, friends and favourite people, as well as those who are no longer with us, those unseen who might not be here physically but are very much here with us spiritually as witnesses. These walls will have witnessed many, many betrothals over the centuries. And some of you might already know this, but I was privileged to conduct the funeral service for Nikki's nan. And so it is a real and great honour to be the one leading today's ceremony, knowing that your nan is somehow here with us today. So before we go any further, Nikki Cannon and Adam Priest, do you both freely seek to enter into this commitment of marriage? Okay, let's continue with some of the joyfulness by asking Amy to come forward and read the poem that you all have in front of you called You're the Husband's Problem Now.
Amy, come. Yeah, there you go. Right, okay, yeah. Right. That's it. We're ready talking to Adam. What have you got to say to him?
You have a husband's problem now. so I guess it's for Doc to say congratulations on your wedding day. Dear sis, you're sure such a fun off and guilt, but lucky for me, you're Adam's problem now. From days long ago when they used to bicker, the trips to the bingo, time sure goes by quicker. You've been my first port of call for 26 years, and always been around to dry up my tears. I was lucky to be raised with a really fab sister, but now you're so happy with your big handsome mister. Adam, you better treat Nikki right, always staying true, or else you'll definitely have me to answer to.
Thank you for that, Amy. That was just absolutely lovely. Okay, I'm going to ask you to turn and face your guests for this part. The Greek have a word, moira, which means fate or something that's predestined. And whenever we talk about meeting and falling in love, we often use words like fate or moira. Here in Scotland, we often use a few more words because we say, what's for you, no goodbye. But it all means the same thing, that if two people are meant to meet and fall in love, then they will, just like these two standing here today. But just how did that come to be? How did we come to be here in a 14th century castle, once owned by the family of Robert the Bruce, bearing witness as Adam and Nikki step into the sacred commitment of marriage? Well, the reason I opened with a Greek word is because that's where this story starts. in June 2012 at a nightclub in the beautiful island of Zante. Sounds quite idyllic, eh? Like something straight out of Mamma Mia. Only not quite, because they described themselves as being a bit intoxicated. That's what they actually wrote down in the paperwork, a bit intoxicated. But they also said they wanted to be really Scottish, and so I have to point out that if you're Scottish, you don't say a bit intoxicated. That is not part of the Scottish vernacular. Oh, we went out last night and got a bit intoxicated. No, in Scotland you say you went out and get pished. Sorry, wee man, fingers in your ears. Fingers in your ears. 14-year-old, fingers in your ears. You get pished or you were out your face, right? It's like Mamma Mia Scottish style. And it was about to get even more Scottish style, because there they were, chatting and dancing away, when suddenly somebody threw a bottle and hit Nikki in the head. That's like a great night out in Scotland. And with first meetings, of course, come first impressions, although that didn't quite work out either. Because when I asked Nikki about hers, she said she couldn't remember. You certainly made a strong first impression, eh? But she does remember waking up the next day and asking her friend Nadine if she'd been chatting to someone. And she did remember thinking how sweet he was for making sure she got home safely. Oh, that's so nice, because I've been watching true crime on Netflix, and that doesn't often happen. And when I asked Adam the same thing, he said, things are also a bit hazy for me, as I had just come off a bar crawl. So they were pretty much a good match for each other from the start. But then Adam added, what I do remember is that I met a beautiful and friendly girl who I hoped I would meet again. And meet again they did. Once back home, Adam travelled from Oxford to Stirling for a date, but Nikki was working. And so poor Adam had to spend the day stranded in a foreign country. That's how he put it, on his own. But he said it was either that or to be stranded on his own with Nikki's mum and dad. Again, his words. Only kidding, Tamanuna. But the good thing about wandering about Stirling on his own is that he now knows more about the history of Stirling than Nikki does. So you'll know all about the Battle of Stirling Bridge then.
Yeah.
So remind us who was on the opposing teams there.
England.
Scottish and England, and who won? Come on. And although having a long-distance relationship is hard, Nikki and Adam look back very fondly on those 6 years and their weekend adventures together. Asked when they knew they wanted to spend the rest of their lives together, Adam said it was after that first trip to Scotland. You must have done good, Taman. While Nikki said it was the night they met. Wow, you're a quick worker. And you didn't even remember them.
I don't remember it.
Soon they were saying those 3 little words that every Scottish girl wants to hear. Let's get hammered. Don't long. Soon they realised they were falling in love. And on Nikki's 27th birthday, and just 2 weeks after moving into their first home together, Adam proposed by telling the birthday girl he had one more present for her, but that it was so big he'd had to put it in the garage. Did you think it was a car? You know, a wee tad disappointed. Anyways, he told her to close her eyes, and after making noises to make her think he was dragging something heavy across the floor, back to Netflix and true crime, she opened her eyes to find him down on one knee, which sounds super romantic. except she was so overcome with nerves that when he asked her to marry him, she said no. What she really meant to say was, oh no, is this amazing thing actually happening to me? But the only word that came out was no. So he had to ask again, and of course this time she said yes. She was making you work for it, eh?
Yeah.
They describe their relationship as one that is full of fun, love and laughter, as you can hear from today's ceremony. And when asked to describe each other, Adam told me that Nikki is a kind-hearted, happy and smiley overthinker, while Nikki described Adam as being a gentleman who is thoughtful, lots of fun to be around and a bit impulsive. Is that like being a bit intoxicated? Are you a wee mad impulsive? He doesn't even know what that means. But they say the best thing is that they balance each other out perfectly. Okay, let's get serious for a moment, because of course there's been lots of fun and humour in today's ceremony, but as I said at the beginning, I can't emphasise enough how sacred this ceremony is that you're stepping into today, that they're stepping into. And when I asked them, because we always spend a lot of time talking about this decision they've made and what commitment means to them and why they're stepping into marriage together. And when I asked them that, when I said, look, tell me about what commitment means to you, they said these words: marriage feels like the next step in our relationship and the final big commitment we can make to each other. For us, the commitment of marriage means promising to be there and to support each other for the rest of our lives. We think all the effort we've gone through over the last 2 years to get married shows just how committed we are to each other, and we can't wait to spend our lives together. So here you both stand, and this is the part of the ceremony that I call the threshold moment, because this is the part that really you guys have all come to see, and it's the part that's going to change your lives forever. Because in this side of the threshold, you stand there as Adam and Nikki, two people very much in love, but as you step over that threshold through making your vows to each other, you will step into a lifetime commitment of being husband and wife. So once again, I will ask Adam and Nikki, are you ready to say I do?
Yes.
Can I ask you to turn and face each other again, please? Yes, no, just take a wee moment, So Adam and Nikki will now repeat the vows of marriage that they have written for each other. Adam, can you look at Nikki? And please repeat after me. Nikki.
Nikki.
Can't even get that bit right. Right, let's come into the moment again. Nikki.
Nikki.
As I take you.
As I take you.
To be my wife in marriage.
To be my wife in marriage.
These are the promises.
These are the promises.
I make to you.
I make to you.
I promise to always.
I promise to always.
Be your best friend.
Be your best friend.
And the person.
And the person.
You want to share stories with.
You want to share stories with.
And make memories with.
And make memories with.
I promise to laugh with you.
I promise to laugh with you.
When you're happy.
When you're happy.
And to be there for you.
And to be there for you.
When you're sad.
When you're sad.
This one we're going to do very, very slowly. I promise to always listen to you closely, even when the football raise the voice is on. But most of all, I promise to love you forever.
I promise to love you forever.
And to appreciate you. Every single day. For the rest of our lives together. Nikki, if you could look at Adam. Look at Adam and repeat after me. Adam. As I take you
as I take you
to be my husband in marriage.
to be my husband in marriage.
These are the promises
These are the promises
I make to you.
I make to you.
I promise to love you unconditionally,
I promise to love you unconditionally,
just as I have
just as I have
from the start.
from the start.
I promise to encourage
I promise to encourage
and support you
and support you
through good times
through good times
and bad.
and bad.
I'm going to say this bit really fast. I promise to let you have your own way.
That's right. I promise to let you have your own way.
Every now and then.
Every now and then.
But most of all,
But most of all,
I promise
I promise
that for the rest of our lives together,
that for the rest of our lives together,
our life will be filled
our life will be filled
with love,
laughter,
and adventures.
and adventures.
Nikki and Adam, from this day forward, do you take each other in marriage? Do you promise to honour each other as husband and wife, and to love, care for and respect each other through all the seasons of your lives together? Can I ask our ring bearers to come forward, please, Lee and Reese?
Oh, is that me?
And if you can just place the rings into the ring stone. Thank you. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you, Adam, to pick up the whole ring stone. No, sorry, so just the stone. Sorry. My fault. And just hold it in your hand. Then you put one of your hands over the top of it. And this is a millions-year-old stone from the Outer Hebrides that has been blessed in ritual at the Callanish stones, and it's going to today give an invisible blessing to these rings. So we ask that these rings be blessed this day. We ask that these rings always remember the promises, the vows that have been made here today. But we also ask that they remember the fun and the smiles and the love and the laughter that's been in this room today. And that no matter how far apart they travel, that these rings will always be trying to come back to the other. And just place the stone back, and then just take Nikki's ring. And as you place it in Nikki's finger, just say after me, Nikki,
Nikki,
I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a token of my love.
as a token of my love.
I ask you to wear this ring
I ask you to wear this ring
as a reminder of the vows
as a reminder of the vows
we have made here today,
we have made here today,
our wedding day.
our wedding day.
Take Adam's ring. Really, see, we groomed you need to write right now. So as you put that on, just look at Adam and say, Adam, I give you this ring
I give you this ring
as a token of my love.
as a token of my love.
I ask you to take and wear
I ask you to take and wear
this ring
this ring
as a reminder
as a reminder
of the vows we have made
of the vows we have made
here today,
here today,
our wedding day.
our wedding day.
Adam and Nikki, here today in the beautiful surroundings of Airth Castle and in presence of your family and friends, you have made vows of marriage and promises to love and care for each other through the journey of your life together. And as such, and with the power vested in me by the Registrar General of Scotland, it is my absolute privilege to finally be able to say, Nikki and Adam, I now pronounce you husband and wife. I'm just going to pop next door where we are going to sign the marriage schedule. Can I ask the two Grandads, Bruce and Hugh, to join us next door? Hi.
Come to this way.
You managed.
It cost me £200. I missed the flight. We really had to start.
you're done. If you, eh? If I signed on for 30 years. You never know what you've signed on for. If two granddads could just stand there for a wee minute. What I'll do is, we'll just do it there. I'm just going to turn this around so that your Facebook family can see you also.
Oh.
There we go. So, because nothing in Scotland is ever the real deal unless there's booze involved, Nikki and Adam have chosen to incorporate a wee Quaich ceremony into their proceedings today. So for those of you who don't know, this is an ancient Scottish cup that has been used for centuries in Scotland by noblemen all the way down to humble crofters as a way to welcome people into their homes and as a way to bid people farewell. But before there was the written word, this is how contracts would have been signed. They would have shared a wee dram. And this cup symbolises a lot. It symbolises trust, because centuries ago, if you were holding it with two hands, you were leaving yourself very vulnerable to somebody's sword. And so by holding it by both hands, you were saying, I'm willing to be vulnerable in your presence, and that's what you do in marriage, isn't it? You allow yourself to be vulnerable. It's also about sharing, and it's a really beautiful old Scottish custom. So, Nikki and Adam wanted their granddads very much to be a part of this wee bit today. So first of all, I'm going to ask Hugh to come forward. And you're just going to pour a wee bit of the finest Dalwhinnie. Mild Dalwhinnie. Do you know like biscuit?
No, I'm only kidding.
So pour a wee bit in there. And with it,
Oh, they did.
a wee bit more than that. So you're pouring a blessing for Nikki and Adam.
No.
And then, can I ask Grandad number 2 to come forward? And you pour your blessing. So this is the two clans coming together and bringing their blessings for the marriage. But then what I also want you to do is, well, let's get Nikki and Adam to do this, because you are going to pour a wee jar for your granddads. You've given him more than he gave you. Right, so you hold that.
Thank you.
I'll take that.
Thank
Because we're going to do this part of Scots. Right, so come forward just a wee bit and face each other. Face each other. I'm going to get you to turn round a wee bit just so that your people that are watching from home can see you, so that you're side on here. There you go, right. Right, so we're going to do this bit in Scots. And Adam is absolutely terrified that that whiskey is going to end up down Nikki's dress. So make sure you don't spill any of it. Right, so I want you both at the same time to repeat after me. And the translation of this is they're just saying that they're sharing this dram, or through the sharing of this dram, it's their intention to share their life and their hearts with each other. So look at each other and say after me, and this is going to be easy for an Englishman. Ascair.
Ascair.
Das dream.
That's dream.
For to show. It's my etel.
It's my
To scare my life.
to scare my life.
And my heart.
In my heart,
With you.
We do.
The day,
The day.
the morn,
the morn,
and always.
And
And can I ask you to take a wee sip, give a sip to Nikki? Granddads, can I ask you to take a sip as I say, and now the bond of marriage. He's been enjoying that, eh? And now the bond of marriage is made. Cheers! First of all, on behalf of Nikki and Adam, thank you so much for being such great guests and rising to the occasion of today. I hope that you go on and have the most wonderful evening. I'm sure you absolutely we have to be mindful of COVID rules and avoid unnecessary touching. So my advice would be the best way to avoid touching your face is to have a glass of wine in each hand. Last words to you two. First of all, let me say thank you for allowing me to walk a small part of this journey with you. It's been an absolute privilege and pleasure. You're such a lovely, fun-loving couple, and I hope you've got that when you're your granddad's ages. Nikki and Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure. But ladies and gentlemen, please join me in a great big Scottish cheer, Scottish English cheer. It's for the first time I give you Mr. and Mrs. Priest. Ladies and gentlemen, can I ask you to be upstanding as our bride and groom leave? Remember to wave to everybody. Right, big cheer. We need to try and get outside because she doesn't know, but all the school children have turned up to do a guard of honour. She doesn't know this, but all the school children have turned up to do a guard of honour.
No.
Oh. Come on, come on. Yay! Oh, what a lovely surprise. Oh, she's just coming out. She's wiping her tears away. Yay! Thank you for watching, everybody. Fair fa.